everybody. I'm Zvika Fishheimer, has been said. I'm HR and Strategic VP for Shufersal. In the coming 10 minutes, I will tell you a little bit about Shufersal and about innovation. Shufersal, at a glance, we are a little more than 60 years, and we are dealing mainly in food retail, but also in pharma and real estate. And slowly but surely, we are becoming not only a food retailer, but a group. We're starting to deal with finance and things like that. And slowly but surely, we're coming to be a group, not only a food retailer. Click. This is our main anchors. Of course, retail. We are, of course, customer based. We have club members of around 2 million householders in Israel, which is 80% of the householders. It doesn't say that 80% of them buy the whole food, all their food buying in Shufersal, but we have contact with about 2 million customers. Financial stability, and we really believe in human capital, and part of our strategy is to get the best human capital that we can. And I think this will be an issue of the coming 10 years. Whoever will not understand it, he will have a problem. Click. I can click another one. Okay, you can see our growth strategy, and on top, it's not by chance. The online is on top, and it means, first of all, online in food. If you're talking about online share of Shufersal, we are touching the 20% of our food sales. We are touching it in online, and if you're talking in share, we are the biggest one in the world by far. And we are still growing, and we're not going to talk about it today, but we are putting a lot of technology into it. We are now just investing on 2 CFCs, customer service centers, automation, which we hope the first one has already started just 2-3 months ago, and the next one will start next year, and it will be the first automatic big CFC in Israel for home delivery. So we have a big private label. Around 30% of our sales is private label. We believe in freshness. We invest a lot of it. Part of it, you will see a startup that we are going to work with that will help us to hold this promise to the customer of freshness. We have a B2B business, a real estate business, finance, insurance. We are not there yet, but we are thinking about it. And the B is a pharma chain that we bought 4 years ago, and we are stabilizing it, and we are growing with it. Click again. This is Shufersal in numbers. 2021, we were around 15 billion. We are 20% of the food retail market in Israel. We have around 400 stores, 17,000 employees, and you can see the rest of the numbers here. Click. Some golden rules, as I see, when you come to a decision to work on with a startup or to put in a new technology, and it doesn't matter, like I've been said before me, it doesn't matter if you do it with a startup company or you do it yourself, but you have to think about a few issues before you decide who to work and what to do. The first one is solution should solve a real problem. What do I mean? Is that many times when a new technology is coming to you and you have to examine it and you have to watch it, sometimes you get you want to do it, but you don't do it because it's a new technology. Don't do it because it's a nice thing. Don't do it because you want to have an experience. It has to bring a solution, and you have to really think about it deeply and see that it really brings a solution to the company. Doesn't matter in what area, if it's a customer area, if it's a logistic area, any area that you want to, but you have to understand that it really, really brings a solution. Okay, of course, attached to it is the cost effectiveness. You have to always look at the cost effectiveness, or the ROI, as we call it, and to see if it has a cost effectiveness. Prioritize, I've been told, have been spoken before me, but you can't eat them all. We have millions of ideas, or I can say maybe between 10 to 20 new ideas that are coming to my table every month, okay? And in the end, you can't swallow them all. You have to really, really prioritize which one of them you want to pick, and you want to put your effort into it. You have to prioritize. You can't deal with all of them. And not all innovations are startups. Sometimes it's just like the lady before from ICA said, you can collect few ideas together, put them together, or get not brand new technology, and you can bring innovation. You don't have any time. You don't have every time that you bring an innovation. You don't have to do it with a startup or with a new technology that on the market. I can give a good example from the CFCs that I just talk about from the automatic centers, fulfillment centers that we are just building. If you look at most of the technology there, it's an old school technology. And we decided to do it because we invest something like 200 million euros in automation, and we invested something like 350 million euros in all the project, and we didn't want to risk it. So we had a newer technology to do it with, but it was not sure that we are going to do it to get to the target. So we decided to go on a old school technology, and we put some 7 or 8 new elements into the centers, but the main course of the technology there, the main technology there is an old school. It's a shuttles technology, and we are happy with it because we know that when we put 350 million euros, we don't want to have risk, and we know that it will serve us. Even if the new technology will come, it will serve us for this technology was 5 years from now. So not all innovation must be a startup or the newest technology. Something I did to myself is to examine. It's really rough. You don't have to really. It's not a mathematical thing. It's rough. But when I come to decide about the technology or about an idea, if I want to work with it, if I don't want to work with it, I take these issues and I examine them, and then I sum them. And if I get the grades that you see here, so if it's a high grade, I go for it. If it's not, I don't go for it. And sometimes I really am scratching my head if to do it or not to do it. And you have to look at the solution maturity, of course, because sometimes you get really seed solutions. The solution band, how wide it is, because sometimes you get a really local small solution, so it's not a high risk. But sometimes the solution that you want to put in is really wide, like you want to put it in all the stores, you want to put it in the cashiers. This is wide, okay? So it's a big risk. So you have to think about it twice. You have the vendor, of course, how resilient he is. Okay, if it's a seed startup, so it's a big risk because you put a lot of efforts with these technologies and these companies, and you don't want to lose it. And if it's a no company, of course, it's much more easy. Think about it, of course, the technology and what do you get from this solution. So it's a big headache to decide whether to go or not to go with a solution with a startup company, but it's a big headache for everybody. So if you have this headache, so you have to know that you are in a good company. Everybody has the same headache, and you should know it. It's not something really unique. Click another one. Oren, I brought you here 3 solutions. We are dealing in parallel with around 20 solutions, startup, not startup, 20 innovations parallel in Shufersal in different stages. And I'm not going to talk about all of them. I'm just going to bring you three startups in this case that we're dealing with. The first one is called Shopping. Yes, it's a very nice solution. It's a small startup company. It's around the value is around $60 million, and Israeli companies. You're going too fast, Oren. Go on back. Oren, go another one back. Okay. Oren. Okay. This is, we think it's the smartest cart solution. It's a tool that is we put it on the cart. The cart is a regular cart, which are the other solutions that I saw. It's embedded. I mean, you have to get a special cart, which is, the solution is embedded on the cart. This is not like this. The cart is a regular cart, and every food retailer knows it's a big problem to deal with carts. It's a very, very tough environment. Yes, and you can't put any electronic devices on the cart. So this is one that you can put in the cart and you can take it off, which is very important. And also you can have like 100 carts, and you can have only 50 devices of 70 devices. Click again. Owen. It can bring you, of course, the main benefit is that you don't have to stand on the cashier, frictionless, what we call, but it also goes, this device goes with you along your journey in the store, and it can give you your list and your coupons and navigation and everything. It really brings the online to the store floor. Okay. And the customers really love it. But and when we go ahead a little bit, it can give us some added values, like you see, or heat maps and things like that. It will give us all these solutions, but this is in the future. Right now, we are doing. Here you see the clip-on device, how they call it. Okay, you see the device here. Right now, we are in the first store. The customers really love it. We're thinking about to do between 4 to 8 stores next week, next year, sorry. And if it works well, we're going to push it in all our big stores. And when I'm talking about a big store, is 1,000 meter and up, which we have around 170 stores like this. Okay. Here it talks about okay, you can see it's you can see we're using usual carts and we put it on it. Okay, the next company is Trigo. Trigo is Amazon Go solution, but for supermarkets. When you do it on Amazon Go, it's tough, but it's relatively easy. When you go from this solution, from a solution on a store on 100 and 150 meters with, I don't know, 200, 300, 400 items, SKUs, when you want to move to a store with 8,000, 9,000 SKUs, and which is 1,000 or 2,000 meters, it's a different solution at all. And this company, Trigo, which is an Israeli company also, this company, Trigo, is trying to do the same as Amazon Go did, but in regular supermarkets. Click. We are working with them for 3 years already. Okay. They are already in one of the Tesco stores in London, and they have another store at the Rewe, a German store. But okay. You can see the process here. You walk into the store with an application. You identify yourself with your cell phone, and then you go around the store. You have cameras around the store on the ceiling, and all the shelves are weights. So they do all cameras from the ceiling and weights on the shelves, and the system collects whatever you do. You don't have to go with a cart. You can put it on a basket or or whatever you need. It doesn't matter if you go with a cart or not with a cart. It identifies the customer itself, and then it collects whatever the customer does. If it takes an item from the shelf, if he puts it back, etc., etc. And then when you go out, it does a calculation. Sometimes after 2 minutes you get the bill. Sometimes after 15 or 30 minutes you get the bill, but you get it on your application, and you can really frictionless, and you can go out of the store. As for now, we are doing a pilot. Next month we're going to do a pilot. We're going to start a pilot on a real small store, because this solution for now works, as I said, on small stores. And when we talk about small stores, it's from 100 meters to 300-400 meters. So this solution for the coming 2-3 years is for small stores, and we are going to start the first pilot store next month in Tel Aviv. You are all invited to see it. The next solution, another click, Oren. Okay, the next solution is a really nice solution. It's a startup company. It's called Williot. Okay, and Williot, what Williot does is a micro simple computer, which is on a sticker, as you see. We already did, and now we already did a small pilot with them. Now we're going to start a bigger pilot with them, and if it works, we're going to put it in all the supply chain of the fruit and vegetable supply chain. What it does, you stick a sticker on your plastic cart that carries the fruit and vegetable. I have to explain that the plastic carts are Shufersal plastic carts that we give our suppliers, and they use them, and they give it back. They bring it back to our DC, to our fruit and vegetable DC. So this stick will be sticked on the plastic cart, on the plastic tote, and it knows when the tote is empty and when the tote is full. And when the tote is becoming full, it's starting to broadcast the temperature and the place where it is, the location and the temperature. It has to have a Wi-Fi environment, okay? But today we have Wi-Fi environment almost everywhere, and we even in the pilot we put cellular Wi-Fi on the tractor of the agriculture that is collecting the cucumbers. And in the minute that he put the cucumbers or the tomatoes on the cart, it's starting to collect the time and the temperature, and then until it comes to our DC, and went from the DC to the stores. Can you click another one? You will see here you see the flow. Okay, the farmer, the DC, from the DC to the back store, from the back store to the front, and from there to the shelf. Okay, it's very important. No, click one back. It's very important in fruit and vegetables to know. Another one, Owen, or click. It's very in fruit and vegetables. It's critical for the quality to know how much time it was, where, and in what temperature. And when you don't know it, you can have the best cucumbers, the best tomatoes on the field, but when it gets to the customer on the shelf, it can be not on the same stage. And it's really important for us. We have around 1 million totes, and we want to know every tote which is full, where it comes from, how much time, and in what temperature it was in every stage of the flow. Okay, this is an example what you can get from it. The top one is location and time, and the bottom one is temperature. And now we're going to do a very big pilot with them in the coming 3-4 months. And if it succeeds, we believe that all the supply chain of the fruit and vegetable in Shufersal, and of course the outcome on the shelves will be much better, because we have a huge problem with it right now. This is 3 examples, and I think it's nice examples. Thank you, everybody.